Where was I June 16th, 1963? Can't imagine why you'd want to know that. Let's pretend you do. I remember that day a hell of a lot better than you expect I would. It's a pretty good story if I do say so myself. I drove from Grand Junction, Colorado to Burr, Oklahoma. And my buddy had just gotten married in Grand Junction. That's a short story. Long story might be a little bit more than you want to hear. An old boy once told me, brevity is the soul of wit. I've been called witless on a number of occasions, so I suspect I'll remain true to form and tell the story the way it happened that day in 1963. It all started when I woke up at 10:45 in the Holiday Inn in Grand Junction. I felt keenly the effects of the alcohol I drank the night before at the reception, and I barely had enough time to stuff my rented tuxedo back in the plastic wrap it came in and get out of there before the 11 o'clock checkout. And on the way out, I stopped at the International House of Pancakes, where I drank several cups of coffee and had a few hash browns before I left at 12 noon. Now, I made a deal with myself that I would not stop. I would drive straight through no matter how tired I was. I drank coffee all day and I popped no-dos like they were lifesavers, hoping the caffeine would keep me from falling asleep at the wheel. Part of the reason why I made the stupid decision that I did was because of how debilitated I was. Now, I forgot to stop for gas in Los Animas. Now, there's nothing too special about getting gas in Los Animas, but the thing was, this last gas station on my route opened past 8. Now, I didn't know that at the time, but if I did, things may have gone a lot differently. But I didn't, and they went the way that they did. You know what they say about crying over spilt milk. Now, when I left Los Animas, I had less than a quarter gallon of a tank. Now, when you have a quarter gallon of a tank, there's no reason to not fill up your tank. But I was young and stupid and poor, and I thought that 31 cents a gallon was too expensive. So I figured I would drive to Numbnuts or whatever the next black dot on my Colorado State road map was and hope it'd be cheaper there. I drove for an hour, and I didn't see a single gas station open or closed. And because of how much coffee I had drank, of course I had to pee, which now that I think about it was another reason I should have stopped in Los Animas, but I didn't. Now, the thing was, I was able to pull over and relieve myself on multiple occasions, but the gas issue wasn't so simple. I had to drive with one eye on the gas gauge the whole time. Came to be around 10 o'clock and came across one of those old-fashioned rest stops, you know, the ones with the gravel and mud road and a couple cement picnic tables, not much else, not even a porta potty, no. But I decided I would stay there for the night because better there than run out of gas somewhere else that's much less hospitable. So I pulled over by one of the picnic tables, and I noticed there was a semi-tractor trailer over by the exit with its engine running, but that's what they used to do. I didn't think too much of it. I decided that I was gonna at least try to sleep. I didn't suspect that I was going to be able to get much, but I figured I might as well give it a shot, so I laid down on the front seat. And not too long after I did so, I heard that truck door slam. So I got up to look and see what was happening, and I saw the truck driver. He was standing outside right by the side of his truck, and he's staring at me. And it was dark, I couldn't see too well, but I figured that, you know, this rest area was a public place. I had every right to be there, so I decided I was going to stand my ground. A minute passed by, and he went back in his truck, so I laid back down. Now, 5 minutes later, I hear that truck door slam again. This time when I come up, this man is walking towards me. So I start going through all my mind, all the reasons why he might be doing so. And somewhere on that list was the idea that this man had some intention to do me some harm. Now, as crazy as it sounded, it felt merited at the time. It also could have been that he just wanted to talk to me, but I didn't feel much like sticking around. So, remembering that he had parked by the exit, I went out the entrance the way I came and just kept going. Now, that's where things started to get really weird. I came across this sign that said Menage National Greenland. Now, I knew what Greenlands were, but I didn't know that they were protected like national parks, you know? So I poked my head out the window trying to see what was so special about this Greenland, and all I could see was nothing. Because there was no moon in that night sky, and I could only see as far as my headlights. Then all of a sudden, I see this real small animal, this like rat, big ass mouse that pulls out, runs right out in front of my car. So I swerve, trying to avoid him. There's another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. Before I know it, there's just a sea of brown fur going on both of these lanes of this road. We're going back and forth trying to avoid my tires from flattening them. And all I could think about was, what happens if I run out of gas? Now, there was holes in my car because it was so old and the underpart of it that thousands of rats or big ass mice could climb up in there. And all I could think about was somebody finding my body the next day, all of my flesh eaten off. All they would find is just a skeleton holding the steering wheel and grinning right back at them. All because I didn't stop for gas in Los Angeles. Now, I guess I don't have to tell you I didn't suffer that fate. The next day, I kept going, and I eventually found a gas station in the next town. I don't know if it was Numbnuts or what it was, but it was closed that night. But I had no problem staying the night and just getting the gas in the morning. That next morning, when I did finally fill up my gas tank and start heading back home, I saw that truck driver drive right by. Now that I think about it, I assume he just wanted to talk to me, that's all. Maybe even wanted to warn me about those rats or big ass mice that I was going to encounter. You know, when I look back on that day, I think it all could have just been some hallucination caused by lack of sleep combined with too much caffeine and booze. But definitely couldn't have helped that I was all alone in the car for 12 hours that day. It all felt so real, but these days I reckon I just don't know.